From South Dakota back into Iowa, one of the New York Forbidden Zones. Ooh, scary Iowa. Ooh, amongst those really scary 19 states that are supposedly so bad that if I decide to go there and go back to New York, I'm supposed to quarantine myself for 14 days. Not going to happen, but we'll see where all of it goes. I got some great news for everybody. Some normalcy is going to come back to America. You won't hear about it, I promise. No, not unless you're watching this broadcast or if you're a hardcore mixed martial arts or combat sports fan. What am I talking about? Well, tomorrow, Pat Miletich is none. Quad City Legends. It is the Clash of Legends, folks. So for you like the setup I put out there on Twitter? Yeah, man. Again, we're on the road. I have people asking me, how come you haven't hit the road yet? I'm like, we're on the road. Okay. So anyway, Clash of Legends, and it is going to be at the Mississippi Valley Fairgrounds in Iowa. They're doing it outside instead of indoors, but they are hoping to hit a capacity of, get this, 3,000 people. Sorry about that, guys. You know we're on the road, so obviously the service is not the best, and we keep getting kicked on and off. But anyway, once again, this Clash of Legends is going to have supposedly 3,000 people. Now, they're going to socially distance. They are asking the press to wear masks. Pat Miletich was gracious enough to get me press passes, so we'll see what happens. I honestly don't want to wear the mask, but for the press passes and not to rock the boat and to be able to maybe show the world that 3,000 people can get together without getting sick or it being a protest, I think is really, really important, right? So thank you, Pat Miletich. We're also hopefully going to spend some time with Pat Miletich, who does the Conspiracy Farm with Jeffrey Wilson, and get an interview with him. I hope that we get him either pre-fight or he wins the fight, because I would hate to see him all knocked up. I mean, Michael Nunn's 57, Miletich is 52. It's really about to really get things moving again. So there's 3 kickboxing bouts, I think, and one of them is Miletich, and then there's 9 boxing fights. Okay? We're slowing down to 65 instead of what's that saying? Okay, Sioux City, it looks like we're hitting. Sioux Falls was gorgeous, by the way, guys. Thumbs this video up, subscribe, and share. So, I wanted to talk about Cuomo a little bit because I just called back to my home in Oneonta, checked in with my buddy Tino, and he's saying that some of the bars aren't even making the attempt to, do like the chips or the pretzels with your beer or a hot dog with your beer, now that the great dictator has made it his decree that you can no longer order alcohol at a bar unless you order food as well. Think about how many businesses this guy has already eviscerated in that state. Not just New York City. Okay, I ain't a city boy. That's what I'm trying to tell you. All right? This guy is hell-bent on telling you the facts aren't the facts so that they can continue to take out all you middle business owners, all you middle class, upper middle class, successful people making, $100,000, $200,000, sometimes a couple $1 million a year, especially in a cash-based business where you might be able to hide some in taxes. Cuomo says, no mo. Don't you understand? I gave the state to billionaires. I signed executive orders. I love Michael Bloomberg, Eric Schmidt, and Bill Gates. That's the Cuomo way. Can't you see I'm a gangster? I ain't the Godfather by any means. I'm like a low-level capo trying to make my way. And it disgusts me. It disturbs me. It alarms me that more people in that area of upstate New York are not kicking, screaming, and demanding his resignation immediately, demanding that their local legislator take this guy out, demanding that their local law enforcement and government does not comply with these crazy, unconstitutional orders that have no merit in reality, no merit in science, no merit in anything. Mask up! Mask up! Chris Rock told me to mask up. Rosie Perez said to mask up. Mask up. What? Well, show me the proof that that's going to do anything. I haven't seen it yet. And from what I've seen, there's no asymptomatic person-to-person infections. They haven't proven that yet. Okay, we're months and months and months into this thing. They haven't proven, okay, that this thing is nearly as deadly as they proposed, or they had, and they also had to backtrack on that it could last on surfaces up 14 days. Oh, looks like it doesn't spread on surfaces so much. Yet every time I go to a shop and someone is in front of me and pays for something, the clerk is forced to take some kind of dicka-dicka-doo and hand sanitizer and clean it all up. Sometimes I've got to wait 20 minutes to sit at a bar in a restaurant that has 4 people on it. And for some reason, it takes a longer time than it used to take a wet rag and wipe it down. I don't need your sanitizer. You know how many times I've used hand sanitizer in this whole thing? Zero hand sanitizer for Jason Burmis. You heard it here first, folks. If you want to wear a mask, that's your thing. If you think that's protecting you, go ahead. Personally, I would say that if you are sick, maybe you should quarantine yourself. If you're not sick, what's the problem? By the way, if you are sick, and apparently there were 2 positives on Main Street at a place called Main Street Cutters in Oneonta. Don't quote me on that, but that's the info I got from my boy. And both of those people are in the hospital. I don't know how old they are, but I would hope and pray that they're actually going to treat them, not with Johnny nonsense, not with, whatever the World Health Organization says is the fad, not what the CDC says is good, but what works. Let me repeat that. But what works. Like the vitamin D treatments we were talking about, the vitamin C treatments we were talking about, but not just those. Those coupled with what? Steroids. Say it again with me. Steroids. Different types of steroids. Now, they don't want you to know about Butanocide and Dr. Bartlett's treatment. Everybody's like, oh, well, this will be everywhere if it works. What kind of naive universe are you living in? Can you not clearly see this is not ending? It's not ending. Okay? No, the fear is going to continue. The invisible enemy is here, and the only solution being pushed by the establishment, whether it be unelected, unaccountable billionaires or their minions in the CDC and otherwise, is a vaccine. That's false. Doesn't matter how well they work. You could go back to Dr. Cameron Siddell, who's now been censored on YouTube because Big Tech says World Health Organization information only, even though I'm in the United States and I'm not beholden to the United Nations. Even though the President of the United States has said we're getting out of the World Health Organization. Apparently in 2020, that doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. Cameron Siddell, the first doctor down in New York City to blow the whistle publicly, because I had been reporting on it, but I'm not a doctor, I just had my sources, that ventilators were killing people. That if you were on a ventilator, you were probably had an 80% chance of death. If you're on a ventilator outside of coronavirus, folks, it's a 50-50. It's a 50-50. It's not good. It's not safe. It's not, oh boy, the ventilator's going to save me. You're risking it. But with coronavirus, it was a whole new ball game, wasn't it? A whole new ball game. And people need to understand that when you're taking a medical professional, right? They deleted my video about him. They deleted his original video. A medical professional that blew the whistle on the ventilators, and then all that information came out. And actually, the New York Times did a video piece. They almost never do video pieces. Okay, but you can look this one up. It was early April. I believe I put my video up like April 5th. He put his out April 4th. I think before April 15th, the New York Times was running their story on the guy. Nope, not an authoritative source. We need to take it down. It's harmful content. Well, I reviewed it. I said, you know damn well this is not against any kind of community guidelines, and this is disgusting. I go, I don't expect a human response, but what is going on here in this country? So if you think that the steroid treatments that are inhaled, not injected, no need for a ventilator, are going to be pushed when it's a guy like Dr. Bartlett that's also letting you know we need early treatment for those that have tested positive and begin to show symptoms. We don't wait for them to have to be hospitalized. We don't wait for them to develop the disease to a point where it's untreatable, like the NIH is doing for the study on budesonide.
Use the second from the right lane to take exit 144 for US 20 East. US 75 North.
Think about that.
Touch Mars.
They are setting up National Institute of Health studies for failure. They did the same with the hydroxychloroquine. Again, do you think that Donald Trump is so dumb? All you Trump haters out there. And again, it's not like I'm not a MAGA guy. I'm not here to promote him. But if you think he's so dumb that he took hydroxychloroquine for the hell of it, and not to protect himself against this thing as he travels around the country and the globe and, you know, basically interacts with thousands of every week or so, right? If you think that he's that dumb and it doesn't work, I don't know what to tell you. Was I disappointed he wore a mask the other day? You bet I was. I was not happy that Trump masked up. But again, he's not my hero, so I don't expect a lot out of the guy. Okay? So once again, guys, just so everybody knows, we're on to the Forbidden Zone. Iowa, one of those big states that supposedly is in the metric of where, oh, it's so dangerous. It's so dangerous! Ah! And again, we're going to have the very first... Sorry, my GPS. But yes, he's so dangerous, it's so dangerous that I'm going to be at the first sporting event to actually have people. Can you believe it? What are you doing, 20 East? Okay. I'm pumped.
Second from the right lane.
Right? Like...
144 and then keep left at the fork.
Left at the fork, huh? So we're here and we're here. Sorry, guys, I don't know where I am, so I'm just trying to make my way here. But anyway, right, there's no other sporting events that's had people, correct? I haven't seen any, and now we're going to have 3,000, and you're not going to hear that on the national news unless it's to demonize it. And props to Monty Cox for putting this together. Props to the Mississippi Valley Fairgrounds for allowing it to happen. Props to the governor of Iowa for not shutting it down. And by the way, props to the governor of Georgia, saying that no local government shall institute a mandatory mask order. So no county by county nonsense in Georgia. Good for him or her. I think it's a him, but I'm not 100%. But again, good. That's the complete antithesis of what we have with Mr. The Facts Aren't the Facts, and I stand with the protesters. And I'm not even going to mention the huge spikes in crime in my city, the huge spikes in shootings in my city. I'm going to tell you we're going to reimagine law enforcement with my buddy de Blasio and act like nothing's going on. Well, there's something going on, folks. I promise you. But again, when he was out there telling you the facts weren't the facts, and that if he didn't get $61 billion 2 months ago, maybe even 3 months ago now, he was saying this, right? He was saying if we don't get the $61 billion from the federal government, what's going to happen? Oh, we're going to have to what? Get rid of 20% of law enforcement, 20% of healthcare, and 20% of education. And you better damn well believe that the 20% of education cut is the next one that's going to come. And then they'll do the health, okay? And it'll be all under the guise and facade of not only this virus, but Black Lives Matter and people demanding to defund the police and a whole lot of horse shit. Whole lot of horse shit. Not a whole lot of reality. So guys, thumbs this video up, subscribe, and share. I want to do a video on Bill Barr's interview with, I think it was ABC News last week, where he talked about Epstein, Ghislaine Maxwell, and Roger Stone. It's really interesting. When I find my hotel in about 6 hours, 7 hours when I set up, I intend to do that because we're doing real videos from the road as well as these little road trip videos. Look how gorgeous it is out here too. Like I'm on a kind of main highway. Let me see if I can turn this around for you. Kind of main highway, but still, we're right outside of Sioux City, Iowa. Plenty of land, no overpopulation. America is moving in places, okay? Not everybody is in full fear mode. Not everybody is worshiping dictators and their executive orders, and I refuse to be in that. So if you want to support me, guys, $5, $10, $15, it means the world to me. Big donors need you now more than ever. The GoFundMe link is down below. Share the videos, and remember, tomorrow we will be there when the Clash of Legends occurs, and Iowa is the first state to try to get things back to that new normal. You can get in there now, buddy. All right. Sorry about that, guys. We'll talk to you soon. Later.